everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show today. We've got a fun packed show as usual. Somebody out there sunning themselves and then another person who's on a narrow boat. So the host today are myself and the gorgeous Sara. How are you doing, Sara?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good, thank you. And we've got our two guests. So Samara's going to be talking to Carolin Gale, and she's going to tell you all about the fabulous stuff that she does. And then a little bit later, I'm going to talk to the young man in the corner there, Gary Husskinson. And he's going to tell you about an event he's got coming up. So I'm handing over to you, Samara.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Cool. Hi, Carolin.
Hi, Sara.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. This is my first public speaking thing for a very long time, so it's all a bit nerve-wracking.
No, don't be nervous. It's lovely to have you on with us. So you to kind of just introduce yourself to start off with, obviously, because I don't really know much either, and I know that members of the audience probably won't. So we just want to know a bit about you and what it is that you do.
Okay. My name's Carolin. My business name is Carolin Gale, and my website's Carolin Gale Design, because that's where I put some of my work onto T-shirts and bags and things like that. I've been crafting and making art most of my life. My mum was very creative, so lots of access to fun things to play with. Mm-hmm. As an adult, I went to Barnfield to do an access in art and design, and then this is when my kids were very little. And then I did a degree at the University of Hertfordshire. So that was kind of my official art stuff. My themes when I was doing the University of Hertfordshire stuff was around the female body and looking at the way in which you have a default body, which is the one you see over and over and over again, which tends to be blonde and white and slender, and looking at narratives around why that exists and why it should be different. So why we should have more diversity. I've done a lot of craft since then, but more recently, I'm back into doing my two-dimensional design work, creative stuff. Nice. I use liner cuts, watercolor, and then I also put it into a computer and then play with it as well. My themes now are I did write a list, which is what I'm glancing down at. Celebration, representation, and solidarity. What I'm interested in doing is giving women a voice, and women are still underrepresented in a billion fields. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm back to looking at kind of the female shape, the female form, but my celebration stuff tends to be around dance. So I have flamenco dancers and other forms of dance. The solidarity and representation. I just want there to be more diverse image around. I changed my, I'm a big woman. I changed my Instagram account and started following more diverse bodies and things like that, so that what I see represents more a version of me. Yeah, because it has a more positive effect on the way you feel about yourself. Yeah. So lots of my work's around that as well, around giving people the opportunity to see themselves. And then the other bit of my stuff is the solidarity stuff, is about the politics of things like the Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, all of those places where violence is enacted on women, particularly with the Me Too movement, of course, and wanting to, I have something to say about it. I think things need to change. They've needed to change since I was young. They still need to change. And you see little glimmers of change, but not enough. Not enough change.
Most definitely. Wow, you literally sound so inspired. You are very inspiring. What inspired your craft? So what was the turning point for you to like wake up and say, I really want to do this? Like what inspired?
Well, when I was younger, I wanted to go to art college, and then I was told that I wouldn't get a job, which would still be true to a certain extent. So I went and worked with kids, and then I had my own. And then because as an adult, you get a bit more freedom of choice about what you can learn and do. So that's why I went back into the art. What inspired me for my degree, what my obsession was, why my body didn't fit and why I felt bad about it. And the fact that there are 1 billion naked women in art galleries all over the world, but there are very few women artists, on those walls. And so I looked at, I did a lot of nude self-portraiture actually in different ways I did it part-time because of the kids, so I did it over 6 years. And as part of that, there's a book by a woman whose surname is Pinkola Estes, and I can't remember her first name right now. But she writes about a book called Women Who Run with the Wolves, and I remember reading that while I was at uni. And in it, she writes this idea that art is a map, and quite often we find our way, particularly if we're creative, we find our way by using art as a map. So when I was at uni, I was using that map to work on acclimatizing myself to my body and it being and owning it almost. And then of course I've had kids and done craft and done lots of different kinds of jobs to put a roof over my head. Now I've got an opportunity to revisit that theme but in a very different way, which is to be able to, having done the work on myself almost, to be able to look at giving other women the opportunity to see visual image that inspires them.
That's absolutely incredible. Like, do you know what? This is something I needed to hear for myself today, because I feel like I've been through a situation where I wasn't very comfortable in my skin. And it's only as of recent that I've started to kind of go on that journey and be quite comfortable. So this is like really timely just for me. But what would you say to a woman or women out there that may not be comfortable in their skin or may not look at themselves and feel, empowered? Like, what do you have any words for women like that?
I think there are a massive amount of resources around actually now. There is a thing that happens. So they say you live in your own bubble. So what happens is when you focus on stuff, you see your own stuff. But I think that there's a wonderful book called My Body Is Not an Apology, which talks about, and I'd recommend that as a read, actually. I think it's an absolutely stonking book. And that's one's around body confidence, but it's actually around recognizing that we've been conned, we've been sold a lie, and the lie is what we constantly see as our images. And actually learning to be comfortable in your own skin is not, it's a practice, it's a journey. It's never you never get there completely, because there are still days when I will go, do I look fat in this? I have got better at going, and if I do, why does it matter? But I still ask those, we live in this culture, so we're surrounded by it. But there are small pockets of change, and there's the fat activist movement, and a lot of stuff happens more in America because of course you've got more people, and I think that's a bigger thing. If I were to give advice, change what you're looking at. So if you're on Instagram, don't follow the gym bunnies in their lycra. Follow the women who are real and are talking about it and are talking about real things. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and remember that you are not your body is something that belongs to you, but it is one aspect of who you are. The other aspects are your spirituality and your other sense of self and your skills and your humor and who you care about and who cares about you. That's all a part of who you are, and your body is one element of that. There's kind of a couple of strands of body positivity, one of which is, so there's the body positivity that belongs in the gym. There's body confidence, which is learning to accept that your body is where it is now, and that's fine. And then there's also something called body neutrality. And body neutrality is this idea that it's just a body. And actually, there were lots of other things that could be going on in my life. And I think one of the things, one of my regrets, I would say, is that when I was younger, there were things I didn't do because I thought I was too fat to do them. And I think that's a sad thing. I got an opportunity to go on one of those big rings on a lake, and but I would have had to put a wetsuit on. And my brain just thought, oh no, can't put a wetsuit on. Now, if you offered me a wetsuit, I mean, I think they're ridiculous to try and get into. I would put one on. I don't care anymore. I would put one on because I get a chance to go and do something fun with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's that sort of stuff. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And I like I said, there's no surprise. It's just been really helpful, even just for myself. So I just want to thank you for that as well. I just want to make people aware that your social media is going across the screen as well. So if anyone else is feeling really inspired like I am, please give her a follow on Instagram, her out as well. But I just wanted to make the audience aware that we have done two truths and a lie with you.
Yes.
And I'm just going to mention them now because I kind of want people to drop just a bit of audience interaction. I want to ask the question. I don't want you to reveal the answer yet until I've finished.
No, that's fine.
But one of them is two truths and a lie, and Carolin's two truths and a lie are: 1, I only watched one episode of Game of Thrones. That's number 1. 2, I can ride a unicycle. And 3, I've jumped out of an aeroplane over 30 times. Okay, so it's on the screen now. I'm going to continue to speak to you for a couple more minutes. But guys, just keep that in mind because at the end, I'm going to ask you to reveal what your two truths and the lie was. But another question that I had for you, like, what made you did you ever have any issues, or did you ever have anybody, like, have you ever experienced things like body shaming before? Is that something you've experienced?
Oh yes, yeah.
So, what did that experience do, and how did you kind of get out of that, or is it something you're still going through the process of?
It's those funny things that happen in your life where it doesn't matter how much work you do, you can still distinctly remember them. I remember someone I fancied when I was about 13 or 14 telling me that I would be really pretty if I lost weight.
Wow.
And that's a really big ouch, and it doesn't matter. I mean, now, of course, I don't feel it anymore, and I'd quite like to find them and explain how that felt. But anyway, so yeah, less so. Now it's funny, it's an aging thing. As you age, and I am coming up for 60, so as you age, it becomes less important. Actually, my clothing taste has always been fairly individual, some people would say, but it's even more confident now because I genuinely am not interested in the opinions of others, apart from possibly my children. I'd quite like my children not to think that I dress like a nutter, but they probably I don't know what they'd say actually, but I don't really care about what the public think about what I wear anymore. And I live in my own tiny little universe in my head quite a lot of the time, so I'm actually quite oblivious to what people are thinking or doing.
It's not as most as you, individual person. Because even me, a way that I cope is to tell myself and remind myself that my body has actually been home to children. Like I've grown children.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's always a positive way to encourage a woman, especially a woman who has had children. Like your body does go through changes anyway. As get older and stuff like that, things are hanging in all the wrong places and stuff like that, and for me, I've also had to encourage myself that my body's been home to multiple children, so that's something that I encourage myself with. And obviously anyone on here, I'd encourage you that your body has been home to small children, and our bodies are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, I think we forget that we can celebrate them, in so many different ways. I mean, I like to dance, and by that I don't mean any form of formal dance. I mean, stick me on a dance floor with a lot of music and I'll be right in the middle. Because that's the way my body feels happy when it's moving like that. And I like to swim because I've always felt graceful in water and I feel less graceful on land. So remembering our bodies can do that. And also, it's better to be alive than dead, really, Yeah. Anyway, Cessa's just told me on the chat that I must talk about my T-shirts. So I put my work at the moment on T-shirts, prints and bags. In fact, I'm wearing Medusa. She's one of mine, which is on my website. It's going across the bottom. And it took me ages to find someone to make my T-shirts for me, because it's really important to me that they're kind of ethical and eco. And the company I found they're organic. They use solar and wind power for all their factories. They pay a decent wage, and also they print on demand, so there's no waste. And the other thing is that they've got a fabulous tag in them. I don't know if I can show you. It's got a QR code on it. There you are. I'm just gonna, and that's, you can send them back and they'll be recycled, which I think is really exciting.
Wow, that is great. Actually, I've never had that before, so that's good to know.
I've got one on as well.
Oh, Seth is wearing one. She's wearing a goddess.
Lovely.
Because we're all goddesses.
Love that. Honestly,
whether we're powerful goddesses like this or birthing goddesses like that one.
Yeah. Guys, honestly, you need to go and check out some of her stuff. I definitely will be following this conversation. I do think you're a true inspiration, even in this short period of time that you've been able to speak with us. So I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. Honestly, I really appreciate. And you've actually relaxed me. Like, I did have a bit of nerves before. How this woman's amazing. Like, I can speak to you all day, but I'm aware that we have a time frame. So, I just want, if it's possible, to get your two truths and a lie back on the screen. I'm gonna see if you can answer that for us before.
I can answer that. Somebody was right. I cannot ride a unicycle, but I have jumped out of an aeroplane over 30 times, and I've only ever watched one episode of Game of Thrones because I watched that and my brain went, oh no, not for me. So yeah, that's my lie.
So I've known this young lady for 25 years, you know.
At least.
I see her dancing on the dance floor in the middle, dancing like nobody's watching her. And her children do not think she wears crazy clothes, possibly sometimes. But I got that wrong. I picked the wrong answer.
Wow.
I picked that she hasn't jumped out of a plane over 30 times.
In my mind, I was like, surely not. Like, who's jumped out of a plane over 30 times? Because I went.
It's a skydive. So, yeah, many minutes ago.
And it was before I met her, so I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. This has been so fun for me to interview you and speak to you. Well, I don't like the word interview. This has been a lovely chat on time, you know. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken out. And I hope you enjoy the sunshine as well.
Thank you.
And I'll definitely be checking you out. But thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to chat to you.
Stay in the background.
I'll stay here. I'll just mute myself so that you can't hear me.
No worries, thank you. Right, yeah, I'm
thanks so much.
Well, still.
Yeah,
so
good.
Aaron.
Good, wonderful. You need to hear the lovely Gary, Samara. Hold on to your seat. Right, just hold on to your seat. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Cecile.
How are you doing?
Samara.
Are you going to write a poem about Samara now?
It's already done.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to wait though. It's got on the beat tape. Yeah, I need to find out a bit more about her.
Okay, so we've already met. Actually, we've met in person twice, I think.
Twice?
I think
I've known 3 times even. No, twice.
3 times, yes.
The book you gave me, I still remember it.
See, I think it feels like I've known you for a long time, but it's actually only been a short time. So tell the audience who's out there, tell them what you do, all the various different things that you do, and about your event on Sunday, please.
Okay. First of all, that last interview was brilliant. Smiling, and they should meet Red Medusa, who's going to be at my event on Sunday, because she does the same sort of thing, but differently. She's an ex-Vogue model. She's a poet. She's an artist, but she talks about the female body in the same way. So you should get together.
Yes, I will see if I can then connect Carolin with Red Medusa.
Yeah,
which is really interesting considering Carolin's T-shirt has got Medusa on it and it's a red T-shirt as well.
I can see that in there.
Yes.
I'm in my back garden, twinned with Montego Bay. So,
okay, so tell us about yourself.
I am still Gary Husskinson from sunny Peterborough. I also studied at the University of Art, got my degree at University of Hertfordshire, which was in drama therapy and storytelling, which sort of linked into poetry. I am I like to call myself an activist and a doer of kind things. I'm a poet, a storyteller, and I was a social worker once time, but that's another lifetime, somewhere last century. And I've been putting on different events for quite a while, starting in garden centres, putting on poetry and music events. They were called pick and mixes, because the idea was I always want people to enjoy what I see. So when I was doing my poetry, and I wanted to bring it around and I love bringing people together, and I like people to enjoy things like the old variety shows, like the old Saturday variety. There's a bit of this and a bit of that, and you have a drink, you can food, and it's a night out for all.
Is that where that comes from then? Is that when you were putting the pick and mix together, was you thinking about those variety shows?
Well, it was because especially I used to go to so many poetry events and they were boring. They were on a Monday or Tuesday night in the back of a pub, and it was, and I goes, but I wanted my friends, I wanted everyone to enjoy the music I hear. You just go out and enjoy it. You don't have to be a poet, you don't have to be a storyteller, you have to be a musician. Just go out and enjoy it, take the family, have something nice to eat. And so I started, that's where Pick and Mix comes from. And I want events to be on a Friday night, or Friday or Saturday night, or where families could go to. And they don't have to be artists.
Yeah,
you can go out and enjoy them, because that's and that at the time is what I felt really wrong with the Peterborough scene. One of my inspirations was going to Soul Food in Luton.
Yes, soul food poetry. That's just
it's music, it's funny, entertaining. Not only half the people there are actually performing.
Yeah,
and there's food, there's drink. If you want to meet afterwards, and that's where the pick and mix come from, not from Woolies.
Right. Okay. Oh, I remember.
And then
in Woolies.
And then my son originally came up with the conception of Say It Louder, because the idea that all action, whether it's racism, sexism, throughout the world has been changed by artists. The civil rights movement, it was poets who started getting from the early civil rights movement. That's in the 1920s. People like Josephine Page, they would have started. There would be no Martin Luther King without that. And even the three ladies from Black Lives Matter came from the open mic scene.
Right. Okay.
So the idea is we came up with this concept of Say It Louder, but we was going to get artists from all around the world during on the Zoom period, and since then it's gone global. We've got 3 Say It Louders now in Australia, here, and in America, and it's a signpost now to work with people like Simple Deez and things. That's progressing into what's happening on Sunday, really.
So tell us about Sunday.
Sunday is called, it's an old West Indian saying, you are what I pick up. My grandmothers used to call me the same. And it's a celebration of not just the winless generation. It's celebrate of their offspring and the generation of that and the contribution they've done to the to us. Everything. It was initially just Peterborough, but as things goes, it's showing the arts and talents of the Windrush generation, Generation X. So originally it was called Inherit the Wind, because it's a jazz song I like. And it's a poem I wrote, commas Rush. But then it was Red Medusa that came up with the title. With this, actually, You Are What You Pick Up is what it is, really. I go around different council places and shouting this is not right and not right. And earlier in the year, I think it was they designed to just shut me up. They said some Windrush machines come in. And I go, yeah, right. And I'll be the last one to get it. And I often put on events to make a point. This is how you do it. This is how you make something successful. And I'm always talking about the ladies in Luton. They did it, so why can't we do it? And so I was thought this money ain't going to come through. There'll be one of those things. It's just to shut me up. So I put together the event. I thought I'm going to put it together. I then worry about how the money's going to come from, and after that, I'll find a way.
Yeah.
And so put together events with spoken word artists, Red Medusa, Lantern Carrier, who's just about to launch his book from New York. Marco Combe is coming in from Amsterdam that day.
Wow.
And I'm getting him for free. Don't tell the city council that one. Poet Iris is literally finishing his Glastonbury set and coming.
Wow.
Coming here. There's someone you all know is Mr. Wonderful, Quentin Green, aka he's coming.
And I think you've got a special host as well.
Oh well, the host. The host is the host. One thing I love about what I do is I go around and I'm quite geeky, just spotting around talent and spotting people who are just like they're the persons I want. And I went to a well-known book launch in April and saw this wonderful host, Jordan. And not only did his presence was immense, he had to suffer that his mother was in the audience. And if any person can do a professional job while he's got the eyes of his mother looking at him continuously,
then he can do it then, can't he?
Yeah, Jordan Patrick. Some of you know, he's from Luton, and I spoke to him on the phone today. He's going to be a superstar. He really is. He will keep his mum in bows and hats and scarves. So one of the comments, Gary, obviously is from Dee saying about selfless. You are selfless. You're always thinking of others, and before you even say, no, I'm just doing this, you do. All the things that you do, there's always a reason, and you're always trying to put, you're either trying to support an organisation or you're then giving a platform for anybody who wants to be able to step up and do a little bit of spoken word, do a little bit of poetry. Fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous, Gary. Really Thank
is.
You. I'm not going to take it back because I need all the buzz I can get at the moment. But
good.
To me, it's just doing the right thing. I just like to look at my face in the mirror and like, even though the mirror talks back to say that I am dead gorgeous, but it's just that you do what's right, and I've got to that age where what's the point of moaning about something if you're not doing something? I recently went to a Peterborough Arts and Cultural meeting, and like now the pandemic, what we're going to do. and there was people there moaning, we ain't got this, we ain't got that. And I just thought, no, you go out and find it. You go find it. You meet people. And even putting together this event, when the funding arrived on the 1st of June, and so and I go, well, it's a good job put this together, isn't it, already?
So Gary, we've got, because we've got short of time, we've got 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
Right. So the first one is you dance with Cheryl Cole.
Yeah.
That's true. The second one is you would audition for Blue Peter whilst eating apple crumble with ice cream on a trampoline. And then the third one is you made Princess Anne a cup of tea. See, in my mind, you most probably could have done all of them because I wouldn't put it past you. So, anybody out there, what do you think is the lie? Let me know what you think the lie is. So, before we go and do that, tell me where the event is on Sunday.
It's at MB Restaurant in Cowgate in Peterborough, a West Indian food restaurant. Food's great. Straight off the team, free to get in, and it costs you nothing to get out. But smile. That's all we need. 2:30 to 5:30 in the centre of Peterborough. Hear the steel band. There should be a steel band outside. That's the way to go.
And for those, because I've been there to that place, the food is lovely. The food is fabulous. The cocktails are gorgeous. There's parking, although on the road where it is, there's no parking. Literally, there's a car park that's at the end of the road, turn right, less than a 5-minute walk. So if anyone's going by car, there is parking nearby. So yes, and then just listen out for that steel band then.
And
come on then, Gary.
Hello.
Tell us which one's a lie.
Which one's a lie? The Blue Peter one. I had a dance with Sara Cole.
Where?
Oh, it's when she was married to Ashley Cole.
Okay.
It was at the I won a ticket, one of these stupid phone quizzes, to the Chelsea Player of the Year award. And the footballers, all the footballers had to go home early, leaving all the wives on the dance floor. And I looked at my wife at the time and thought, well, we were just about to finish anyway. We were finished. So I thought, I'm just going to go out and dance floor and start and grab around dancing. So that's what's true. Okay.
And quickly tell us when you made Princess Anne a cup of tea. How did you do that?
I was at the Burley Horse Trials, and Zara's was really good looking then. I was at the Burley Horse Trials,
yeah.
And she goes, and I was on the Pimm's bar, and she came to me. I'd rather have a cup of tea, and that's what I did.
Fantastic. Okay, so just to remind everybody, Gary's event is on Sunday 26th. That's this Sunday in Peterborough. I like your 2 truths and a lie. I was wondering what you was going to say because obviously we know you well enough to say that actually any of them could have been real. Any of them.
I did audition for Blue Peter, though, but it was on the water slide.
With the apple crumble?
With an ice cream.
Oh, Gary, absolutely love you. Really do.
All right. Love you too. So much.
I'm just going to bring the others back in. Well, not me personally. The lovely Shelley's going to bring the others back in. Yeah. Did you guess, Carolin, which one was the lie?
Yes, I did actually. I figured it was the middle one. I just think that only having met you the once, I would have, like Cess, thought the 3 of them could be possible. But I just think that I can't see Blue Peter doing the apple crumble and the trampoline at the same time.
I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we've got coming up. we've got our ladies' soiree, which is the 3rd of June. It's not. I'm talking rubbish. We've got our ladies' soiree on the 3rd of July. Ladies, Gary, so you can't come and join us. Really sorry, but you can't. That's at the Irish Forum in Luton, 2 till 5. We've also got on the 16th of July, we've got a health and wellbeing event in conjunction with Futures House, which is in Marsh Farm. That's 10 till 2. And there's going to be lots of different information there about medical things, health things, you know, lots of different things there. So just come along. You don't have to stay the whole time. You could just pop in if you want to. And then on the 23rd of July, Manor Park in Luton, there's an event called the Afro Fest, 12 till 7. It's going to be fun. There's music, there's entertainment there, there's going to be food there as well. So get yourself down to Manor Park in Luton. But all of this information is on the Simply Deez events. We've also got Stockwood Park, monthly craft and food fair at the Stockwood Discovery Centre. So it's the second Sunday of every month, 11 till 5. And if you go there, you'll be able to buy some of our very own Shelley's. Oh, the Rocky Road and the fudge and all the sweets, all of it is lovely.
Was you thinking of rum raisin fudge then, Cecile?
I was thinking of rum raisin fudge. It was, do you know what? I had a piece of that and then I would have another piece and then I had to put it away. And then I then got it out again and had another piece until it was finished. It was to die for. It really was to die for. So yeah, those are the things we've got coming up, but you can go and see them on our Facebook page, Simply Deez Events CIC, or you can always drop us an email at simplydeezevents@gmail.com. Yeah, I got it right. So has Samara gone?
Yeah, she popped out. She hasn't come back in on the thing yet. That's why I'm here.
So thank you, Carolin, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Visit her website. Look at this T-shirt. See? Look at those T-shirts. She's got fabulous T-shirts on there and loads of other things. So go and have a look. Gary, thank you for joining us. You really do look like you're somewhere nice.
Love you all.
Love you too. Love you too. And see you next week, 12 o'clock. Don't forget. See you all.
Bye.